your relationship with the governor of Ogun State, His Excellency Dr.
Oh, the governor.
And his role in your political ambition?
The governor is my leader and my mentor. I mean, he gave me my very best opportunity in government and even in the party, because I was assistant director of protocol for his campaign during his campaign. So I was one of the advanced party that would go to every local government. I was part of the advanced party with the DSS and the security people that would go there and prepare for him. And also, when he came into the office, I was one of the first 3 to be given an official appointment. I was appointed a commissioner in the Ogun State Judicial Commission, where I served for 5 years. And when I had this unfortunate accident in 2021, when I was involved in a near-fatal accident, he was also very much on board, making sure that I was comfortable and that I was repatriated to the UK. All through my treatments, he was always with me and everything. So yes, he's my mentor and he's a very good leader to me.
Oh, that's a good one. Now, if you are given the opportunity...
Member House of Representatives, representing Ikene, Sagamu, Remo Federal Constituency. I was elected in the by-election of August 2025, so I've been in office for 7 months, and I want to thank, because I always keep thanking Remo people for electing me with a majority of 30,000 votes. So there were 41,000 votes, people that voted for me, and it was a record vote, not only in Remo Federal Constituency, but in the history of House of Representatives elections. That's the highest score ever recorded.
Oh, that was very fantastic. It was very fantastic. Can you please tell us a brief history about your maternal and paternal background, because there are controversies surrounding the relationship with Ofin and Makun constituency, respectively?
Well, by virtue of my surname, I'm from the Elegbeji family in Makun, but in Ogijo, Makun, Sagamu. But by virtue of my maternal grandmother, I belong to the Koyegu royal family, a branch of which is the Adegbite family. My grandmother is the second daughter of the late Pa Adegbite from Ofin in Sagamu. So I'm also a daughter of Sagamu. And even when I got elected, the Koyelu royal family, they sent me a letter congratulating me. I have the letter, so I'll send you the letter so you can post it. So I have a letter from the Koyelu royal family. So, and I say to people, I say that if I was male, and the Akarigbo will live long if I was male, but if there was a vacancy, I'll be qualified to represent the Akarigbo if I was male. So even my son now is qualified to contest for the throne of Akarigbo, being a member of the Koyelu royal family, and I have a letter that testifies to that. So that is that. So there is no controversy over that. I'm the bridge between Ofin and Makun. I represent the whole of Sagamu. I have my father's side and I have my own Baba Ayoola. I know the man say you nile Baba, come on nile. Go say te your let us see.
And final word to the people of Sagamu, Ikene, and Remo and Remo North, the federal constituency you represent, the people.
Well, we have the primaries tomorrow. This is not the first time we are doing primaries, but to my surprise, and it's very, very disturbing, and I feel very sad that there was a leader in Ward 14 that actually stood up and was threatening people in a meeting that they are going to attack them, and I'm having calls all day, and even I've been told that some union people are in Ogijo. I don't want to name names, but we know who they are. They are actually out there that they are threatening people that if they come to the primaries, we had an election, 41,000 people voted, there was no violence. Why would there be violence for a primary? So I have appealed to the DSS, I've called the security agencies where I have proof, like for instance, the person that was talking in the open about threatening people. Somebody was beaten in Ward 14 today. They sent the pictures to me. We forwarded those to the appropriate security agencies. And I'm calling on all the security agencies and the traditional rulers to step in so that we don't have violence during the primaries. It's not necessary. We're a big, happy family. This man said he's acting on behalf of the governor, but I know my governor. He's a peace-loving person. For the past 7 years, there has not been any violence or anything in Ogun State. We've been one of the most peaceful states. Why is it because we are doing primary? You are now going up and down, threatening people that you are going to beat them, you are going to do this. Even me myself, I've been advised to leave my constituency. I don't feel safe in my own constituency simply because this man is instigating violence against me and anybody who supports me.
Alright. Can you please tell us the bills you have sponsored so far and the projects you have embarked on about 7 months ago?
Since I got elected in the 7 months, I mean, I have to say that the glory of God, of all the four APC members that were elected at the same time as me, I have the highest track record because I have sponsored 4 impactful bills and also moved 3 actionable motions. So the bills I've sponsored, the bills have to do with state creation in Remo State with Sagamu as capital, 5 additional local governments in Remo, 3 in Sagamu area, 1 from the Kenya local government, 1 from existing Remo North local government. I've also sponsored a bill for the creation of a school of nursing and allied health professionals in Ode, Remo and Imure. And the 4th bill is for a school of agricultural sciences in Oko. I mean, the projects I have in purview. First of all, it's a great shame that when the late God rest her soul, when she passed on, the projects that she had ongoing, they became abandoned projects. So the first thing I did was to look at those projects. And I'm very grateful to the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, who allocated some money especially for me to finish those projects. And the money has been appropriated into the 2026 bills. So those projects include the remediation of the rural electricity in Oko, the completion of the health centers in Ibelefun and Ogijo. So they need doctors' quarters, they need the floor finishing, they need the perimeter fencing, they need to be added onto the mains electricity because they're not connected to the mains electricity, installation of the transfer. So little bits and pieces that need to be done to have that. So it's allocated money for that. And there are other projects that I have introduced as new projects. There's a 2-kilometer road in Ewo. There's the provision of solar lights throughout Sagamu Local Government. There's provision of solar lights throughout Ikene. There's provision of solar lights for Remo North as well. There's an agricultural empowerment for about 500 farmers. There's agricultural empowerment for about 1,000 constituents of Remo Federal youths and women. So the thing is that the 2000, when I came, the 2025 bill had already 2025 budget had already been passed, and there was no projects for Remo constituency because we didn't have a representative. But to the glory of God, these projects have been appropriated in the 2026 budget. And I think yesterday one of the contractors called me that he has been mobilized to start the solar energy grid project in Ekperu General Hospital. So he's going to move to site next week. So we know that is on. He called me yesterday to give the good news, and I know that the other contractors are going to get mobilized if next week or the week after. So the federal government has started to mobilize because we are moving into election season. We need to be doing all those projects. So because the House of Reps, we are the closest to the grassroots. If there are no projects, how are we going to convince people to vote for the president? The president is not going to come from Abuja to come. It's through us, the House of Representatives, the Senate members, that we do this constituency project. So there are lots of constituency projects that are in the budget. There's one for the provision of an operational vehicle for the civil defense and the refurbishment of their offices. I think in Remo North that is. I'm just trying to remember all of them. There's so many. I think there are other 2. There's another empowerment for artisans. There's one for young people. So all of these things are there.
All these in 7 months?
Yeah, in 7 months, yes. And one thing that I want to tell people is that when I go back, by God's grace, to the 11th Assembly, I become a ranking member. When Ijaya passed away, God rest her soul, when she passed away, she was a principal officer. So she had a lot of privileges accorded to that office. When I came, because they couldn't leave the position vacant, somebody else took that position, right? So, but when I go back to the 11th Assembly, because we have lost that privilege, they're going to compensate me by making me a committee, a principal officer or chairman of what we call the juicy committee. So I'll be able to get some of those privileges back. If somebody else goes